and we could really bomb them back to the dark ages.
They will be bombed, just like I bombed them on Wednesday night and Tuesday night.
If they violate the agreement, we'll bomb the hell out of them.
MOU appears to be, just from the text, a disaster.
And cue the fire along with breaking news. And the word of the day is bomb them until there is no tomorrow. Yes, I know that's more than one word. But let me ask you this, because I don't even need to ask Grok. I can ask you. I can ask my little brain. What are the chances that both sides, U.S., Iran, we all stick to the agreement? I'm going to go with 1% at best. Oh, and this is from a Republican senator, which I'll get to that in a second. Reagan is rolling over in his grave. What is happening? Well, this GOP senator will not, she is not a GOP senator. She will never be anything to do with GOP.
So we've given them a timeline as well. Again, this is just a memorandum of understanding. There's more work to do, but if they don't get it done in 60 days, they may become glass. So I think that's the alternative here. At the end of the day, the goal is for American safety.
Do you really think the president would start bombing Iran again in 60 days when we're that much closer to the midterm elections? And today he was saying he didn't want to be a Herbert Hoover style president and have, gas prices as high as they are.
Look, I would never speak for the president. I think you have to leave all options on the table, especially the timing of it. But I think it would be a 2-week event, and we could really bomb them back to the dark ages just in 2 weeks. I think that you have to do one or the other. We have to rip the Band-Aid off and just bomb them till there's no tomorrow, or else get this agreement done. We want Americans to be safe.
Let's say that's spicy. Back to the dark ages. But we have, okay, so that is currently a Republican senator that he got the re-election. You want to see what happens when they don't get the re-election bid? They really start speaking their mind. Reagan is rolling over in his grave. Iran's nuclear ambitions were not curbed, okay? And they have learned that threatening the Strait of Hormuz, what happens? Works and will undoubtedly leverage it in the future. I have to say, stepping back as a bystander, as someone who's just like logical. Okay, how's it going over there? I'm going to say not good. Well, that we could bomb them into the Stone Ages, yet they can still keep control of the Strait of Hormuz is just crazy. But now we know. I'd have to go with yes. This is probably something they will leverage in the future. That's great. It's like when you yell at your kid and then they're like, wait a minute. Hey, you're all bark, no bite. First start off with, I'm going to count to 10. And once I get there, and then now it's, what do you got? Now they're 14. Yeah, you got nothing. And they have CPS on speed dial. Now Iran gets to build brand new infrastructure under this deal. Before the war, the strait was open. Iran was being crushed by sanctions. And now 13 service members were still alive. Now 13 Americans are dead. Families have paid billions at the pump. Sanctions will be lifted, and the bombing has stopped. This is the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. I say at least we didn't promise to give them $300 billion. But all of that politicking is not what frightens me. What frightens me is this. And yesterday I said, I promise I will talk about silver, gold, because a lot of people joined this channel. I don't know. It was like all of a sudden I became a silver channel. And people are like, you shall carry the silver mantle. I'm like, I just trade the charts. Everyone loved me when I'm like, okay, so silver's going to go to here. Yeah, that's what we want to hear. And then I'm like, okay, all right, now it's going to go down here. You can't say that. Run out of silver. You can't speak that. Guys, I'm telling you, I love saving in silver. I've been preaching this for 30 years. But there is a time to buy, and then there is a time to never sell because you hold silver. But if you want to retain your purchasing power, yes, yeah, that's it. Here, or gold. Gold's lighter. This little lady right here, yeah, this little shiny one. She's expensive, but not really, if you understand money or assets, which in my video that shows up after this one, but you got to click it, I go into an apple and an orange, inflation, gold, silver. Hopefully it makes sense. Point in the video is like the minute you introduce this, sheets of paper, that's where you get that inflation thing. Well, kind of. And then you have bonds. And then you have debt loans. And then you have everything on top of it. But if you just dial it all back to the beginning, you have an apple, I have an orange. Prices don't go up. Here, I'll swap you. That's it. There's never going to be, I need 2, 3 apples. Nope. But the minute you introduce paper, it all changes. It's not just this. Again, it's bonds, it's debt loans. It's just more of this fugazi debt in a money debt system. Breaking news, and I hope everyone in the world that is ever watching me sees this video. There is a good time to save in gold and silver. There's a not so good time to save in gold and silver. And gold and silver went like this at the top, and everyone's like, oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. I'm like, this is not a good time to save in gold and silver. Because what I didn't want to see happen to people is in 15 minutes, you lose 7% of the value. According to what? Well, that is priced in dollars, which now I need to show you that. And this is not good. And it's going to get more worse. And what and why is that, Bravo? Why so bad? Again, a debt-based system. And maybe a little warnings from Ray Dalio. But this debt system has kicked into high gear. It's not slowing down. Trump said, I promise, I'll pay it down. I'll stop. Everyone lies. Government borrowing, this is worldwide, has reached unprecedented levels. Global government bond issuance through bank offerings, do you see? Debt, bonds, bank has surged $504 billion in H1 26. This only covers government bonds sold through banks. I'd like to show you Exhibit A, okay? This is bond issuance. This means your prices go up. This is also the trend is your friend until the end. This trend is currently going off the screen. I know some of you guys are asking, like, where exactly are we at in this debt cycle? Well, Dalio says we are on the brink, so we are coming to the end. I say the end sometimes is difficult to predict. Kind of like when stonks go up and you don't know how high. All I can tell you is you don't want to buy at these levels. But Ray shall explain where we are currently at.
We are on the brink. Particularly risky period is between the next two elections. After the 26 midterm election and the 28 presidential election, I think that the monetary situation will be more threatening. Basically, the U.S. government spends $7 trillion. It takes in about $5 trillion. So it's 40% overspending. It has a lot of debt. And the demand for that debt is falling. And it's falling not only because of the supply-demand situation, the regular supply-demand, but we're now in a world where even there are worries of those who are holding dollar-denominated debt that they could be sanctioned.
I'm going to completely agree with Ray, but now I need to add a little context so you understand how it works. You understand when they say debt issuance, T-bills, bonds, and the government say, we promise we will pay you back with interest. Where do they get the money from? You. Anywho, that's another video. So the Treasury creates the bond, prints the bond, your bank buys the bond. Basically, legally, they have to. Or contractually, however that word's pronounced. I'm glad I used to teach law. Good job. But that was in high school, and they're kind of dumb. And I don't mean to broad brush it, but I'm going to they're all like, they can't tie their shoes. You needed a babysitter, so I understand. The government issues bond, the bank buys it with your money, they go into your bank account, boom, there's always a buyer. But wait, just in case that isn't bad, okay, then the banks have the bonds. Anyone want to buy them? Yeah, the Fed's like, we'll buy them from you. They take sloppy seconds. You always have a buyer of debt. The debt machine will always continue, and the taxes will always destroy you. When Ray is like, wait a minute, people aren't, but the Fed is, and your banks is. Yes, you have this front over there that's really bad, but they'll keep doing it because they can get away with it. Now, I'm here trying to explain this and helping you navigate. Okay, so you're going to sell here. No, we don't sell our gold and silver, okay? You're just not going to buy them. How about if we buy DXY? Because that's going higher and gold and silver will go lower. Not a direct correlation. It gets kind of cloudy. Kind of like most things in life. When you're told one thing and then all of a sudden stuff changes, like with the war. Things changed. Things changed. Like, example. Just give you an example, then I'll go to gold, silver, and the dollar. We're, quote, this was March 9th, we're now totally independent of the Middle East. We don't need their oil. April 1st is when I said everyone go all in on the stock market. It doesn't really affect us. We have so much oil. And then June 17th, if I didn't agree, right, we would run out of all of our oil. Let me help you with this. We produce 13 million barrels of oil a day. We use 20. Okay? Let's do the math. We're short every single day by 7 million barrels. And we drained our reserves within a few months. No, Biden did that. I know. It's always them. I'm just trying to give you big picture. Now you've seen it. Strait of Hormuz is controlled. Iran controls it. Control energy. It was just thrown in your face. We're not independent. I know. We're America. We're the greatest. No one can stop us. We're a bunch of narcissists. 1320. Again, I have no dog in this fight on this channel. I give it to you how it is. And people don't want to hear it. Like, you can't say anything bad about gold, bad about silver, bad about Bitcoin, bad about Trump, bad about, like, right? Everyone's like, nope, 100% or nothing. Here's your stonk market right now. Guys, if you want, play whack-a-mole. You're going to bounce on this. Chick magnet's going to, no, I already touched that. But I shall turn everything off. This is morning open. It is currently trading. You are in a range. It is waiting for breakout. Had it in the morning. You could have grabbed it. This was morning open. You break that. That was a pretty easy trade. 157 would have been over $3,000, or you could even got halfway down. Like, come on, you know where it's going. Well, that is until you have the 200. That's not what I wanted to show you because that's what we trade. I want to show you the dollar. Also, all of this is tradable. You trade all of this. Just understand the charts. This is actually on my new channel that someone posted. You guys, a lot of compliments on that channel. No squirrels chased. Well done. Much appreciated. My husband's killing it. Thanks to you. Over $500 in 2 minutes today. Thank you for the education. If your next course is unsquirrely, maybe I can learn to trade. Also, if you would love to learn how to do it, it's right here. Price go up. $99. It's gonna go to $3.99. And you learn about things like, look, there's your 200. This is the dollar. And I've been saying it's bullish. It broke the 100. See the wick. Also, you got this, and I've been telling you, okay. You don't want to break that. You broke it. Dollar goes higher. Okay. The dollar has been going lower. Now dollar goes higher, has been going higher. I said you could buy it. You're good. But now it's going to take gold and silver with it, along with Bitcoin. And today, there it is, silver. You got 50.59. And I've been warning you. Starts with the 20, then it's the 200, then it's trend lines, then it's things like head and shoulders. If you learn these things, you know where it's going. So when it was up here, I was like, no, stay away from it. Now it's coming down here. Okay, now you're like, I can accumulate. That's fine. That's fine. This stuff right here it's fine. It's an asset. Own assets. Trade everything else. Learn how to do it. And with that, I love you. I shall see you tomorrow.